Hi Scorpio, welcome to your March 2023 Astro-Tarot with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. So, these are for your sun, moon, and ascendant sign. I always advise, especially because I'm incorporating more astrology from now on, you're going to want to check your ascendant sign first, especially if you're only going to watch one for the month. Make sure it's your ascendant sign. The sun and the moon will still be relevant in different ways, right? Remember, they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. For me, you should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So this is how things are going to be for a while. This and other new content are winging its way to you as we speak. So let me know in the comments, do you love it? Do you loathe it? How does it feel to you? All right, so we are going to start with the three big transits of this month. And the first one, on March the 7th, Saturn is moving into the sign of Pisces, which for you, my dear Scorpios, is your fifth house of pleasure, romance, joy, fun, creativity, children. The fifth house is a very lucky house as well. And Saturn's maybe not necessarily known for bestowing luck, but this is kind of one of those energies where, you know, Saturn, boundaries, limitations, structures, hard work, hard effort, sustained effort, refinement and growth over the long term. This feels for me like, like the saying, the harder you work, the luckier you get. That's Saturn in the fifth, right? So if you, I do have to say, for those of you that are trying to have children, maybe it's a little harder over the next 2.5 years. That doesn't say that it can't happen. It just means that maybe it's a little tougher. Maybe you need to do more body maintenance. Maybe you need to track your cycles a bit more. Okay, so all things to think about here. With Saturn moving through the fifth as well, maybe your sense of responsibility outweighs your fun. Another way that you could reframe this, because you know me, I love a little reframe. Another way that you could maybe try to get around this is that you get really serious about incorporating more fun into your life. So it doesn't just become humdrum, right? Remember though, Saturn is an energy of long-term results. And so when it comes to your creative endeavors and ideas and, you know, things that you're wanting to bring into the world, maybe you put more effort into them. Maybe you decide, actually, you know what, I think I'm gonna do this, but I'm gonna build it for the long term. So for this transit, you have the Hierophant card. All right, interesting, because it's in your fifth house and the Hierophant is number 5. You've got the Emperor. All right, okay, so some hard work on that daily sort of grind level. And then you've got the 8 of Cups, right? So one way that this may show up for you is with the Hierophant, you're being really encouraged to start getting more structure and established routine within that fifth house scope. So whatever your projects and your personal endeavors are, the Emperor is basically saying a right use, or should I say the Hierophant, the right use, the correct structure for your personal power, the Emperor, with the 8 of Cups, releasing or removing or letting go of certain structures and or routines maybe that haven't helped you, that aren't helping you anymore. The other thing with the 8 of Cups as well, this is about really addressing your emotional imbalances. And so I've got to say, for a lot of you Scorpios, and you know, I'm fully aware of who Scorpios are. I got many Scorpio friends, and I have a few people in my family who have a lot of Scorpionic energy. I have a lot of respect for Scorpios. If you've been with me long enough, you know this already. So when I say what I'm about to say, please don't take it offensively. This does suggest that this next 2.5 years, it's not just that you're addressing an emotional imbalance. This is about you getting a lot more emotionally mature. This is about you really starting to understand, okay, where do I need to grow up when it comes to my approach to things? Or where do I need to get more serious about my self-expression? Because the fifth house is authentic self. All right, so the next transit is Pluto, your modern ruling planet. moving out of the sign of Capricorn and into the sign of Aquarius on the 23rd of March. Now remember, it's just going to hook its head round the door of Aquarius. It's going to come in, sit at 0 degrees, and then, you know, around late June, early July, it's coming back out of Aquarius and back into Capricorn to finish up its business. And then in January of 2024, it's on, right? Once it comes into Aquarius, then that's the next 20 years for all of us in some way, shape or form. Because you're a fixed sign, you are going to feel this more than everybody else. Because this is your ruling planet, you are going to feel this more than everybody else, because you have already by nature, you know, your Scorpio energy, whether it's your sun, moon or ascendant, it's one of your big sort of energies, right? So because the fixed signs have, you know, this is going to affect you, is what I'm trying to say. Now, Pluto is the lord of destruction and change and the pure potential. What I love most about Plutonian energy or Plutonic energy is that it really gets in deep and it sort of lifts up the silt to say, what is the hidden wisdom? What is the hidden gem? What is the hidden gold here that we can't see? And in order to do that, unfortunately, it has to destroy everything to really, it's kind of like, you know, when they're going in for gold, you got to trash the ground a bit, right? You got to zhuzh it up, you know, sift it all out. You've really got to get in there to discover the wealth. That's what Pluto does. It's a very magnetic energy. It's not adverse to bringing wealth. And for you personally, this is coming into your 4th house of home, property, family, real estate. Now, one way that this could show up for you, it's not guaranteed, but one way that this could show up for you, you know, a touch wood, if you've got people in your life that are older, that maybe, you know, because your 4th house is your home and family. So if you've got elder people in your family, it is a potential that somebody might pass over the course of this transit. I really hope that's not the case, but we have to be realistic. It's like Pluto, just like the death card, it can't always mean anything but death, right? Sometimes it has to be what it is. Now, it being a very magnetic energy, for those of you that have had challenges or issues with acquiring a home, buying a home, selling a home, purchasing land or anything like that, this could literally do this for you, right? Pluto is a magnetic energy, and so if you focus all of your scorpionic energy on something that you really want, this could pull or draw a home to you. Because it's in that 4th house as well, this is going to see you really get into grips with your deeper emotional self. So just like in that 5th house set of cards, you were emotionally maturing, this could see you getting in touch with the pure power that your emotions can actually, you know, really yield. So this, I actually would say for you guys, could potentially be a manifesting transit for sure. For this, look at that, right? You've got the Sun card. I really like that for you guys, because this suggests that there's nice things coming from this transit with the Lovers card. Okay. And you've got this with the 9 of Swords, right? So, okay, look at this. Remember, the Sun card enhances the blessings, diminishes the challenges. So when it comes to love, relationships and partnerships, this suggests any problem or issue within the home, whether that's between you and a significant other, etc., can be overcome, will be overcome. You just have to get out of your feelings and your mind long enough to see things as they are rather than how they feel. This is about really not letting your emotions lie to you. It's also about you releasing a narrative from the past. Now, with the Sun card and the Lovers, if you are single, this could literally be that a potential partner comes directly to the home. Maybe you're moving and, you know, you move next door to somebody and you think, oh my gosh, like this person, and there they are. Maybe you throw a party or a gathering or a get together and a friend brings someone along and, you know, there they are, right? This could literally bring someone directly to you. It's very rare that this kind of energy shows up. With this 9 of Swords, coupled next to the Lovers card, though, that does suggest that there is a heartfelt decision that needs to be made that you're really very in here about. And it's kind of one of those feelings, I feel, that almost maybe there's a sense that you feel like you might be abandoning somebody. I don't know why, but that is really coming through as like I'm feeling it in my chest. And if that's the case, you have to ask yourself if that's the truth for you. All right, and then finally, pop these back in. The transit of your ancient ruling planet, Mars, is moving out of the sign of Gemini and into the sign of Cancer. So into your 9th house, right? Into your 9th house of higher goals, higher wisdom, learning, philosophy, higher education. This is your beliefs, your religion, your belief structure. The fact that Mars is coming into this sign could see you releasing some kind of belief system or belief structure that you've held onto for a long time because you realize it's limiting, or it's holding your personal power hostage in some way. And so Mars coming in there as a severing energy. Remember, Mars is passion, excitation, energy, willpower. It's also, it's a cutting energy. It's the sword, the circuit, the sword, the surgeon scalpel. It's the scissors, right? Mars can cut things away. And so this might be a releasing, a complete letting go of a belief structure that has held you back or held you down and has stifled your willpower in some way. Another way that this could show up is you get really proactive about your big ideas or goals. Maybe it ramps up travel for some of you as well, right? This next 6 weeks, maybe you start to travel more. Maybe you're making more travel plans. Maybe you're getting more proactive about your larger interactions with the world in some regard, or potentially doing the legwork to what it means to go back to school. For this, you have in this deck, look at that, isn't it beautiful? It's the Mother of Cups. So that's the Queen of Cups with the Knight of, or the Son of Cups, or the Knight of Cups. And the Empress. I mean, that's gorgeous, right? This Mars transit, I actually think, is really going to get you in touch with what you envision for your life moving forward. 9th house is a visionary house because it's the house of natural house of Jupiter. So, and Jupiter has a visionary energy. With the Queen of Cups, though, this is about finding ways to sculpt and manipulate your own emotional energy. With the Knight of Cups, this is about bringing something fresh into the world. With the Empress, it's about giving birth to it. So it's really interesting how your transits, out of all of the signs, your transits all seem to feed into each other. Everybody else's have kind of been a little bit all over the place. Maybe they've linked up somewhere, but for you, this really seems to be playing out a whole story. So I'm intrigued. I will say as well, this it could be a water sign woman, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. Maybe it's you, or it could be a Scorpio male, Scorpio person. It does suggest that there's something here about yourself that you are ready to birth into the world. So there's something here, because the 9th house is publishing, right? Maybe you're getting ready to release a book. Maybe you're getting ready to start your YouTube channel. Maybe you're getting ready to share something about yourself with the world on a much bigger, sort of broader level. Very, very interesting. Okay, so now we're going to look at the different sectors of your month for your actions and interactions with the world at large. This month you have... Alright. Let me pop these here. So you've got the Moon with the 8 of Swords, okay, and the Devil card, right? My dear Scorpios, I really, really would like you to be good to yourselves this month. That is a very heavy triplet, and it does suggest that you may be very stuck in your mind about something. Maybe you're reliving a memory from the past, and it's almost like it's got a hold on you and it just won't let go. Because this is in your actions and it's about what you do, the thing that you're really being encouraged to do with this, this month, what are your proclivities? Be honest with yourself about where you get in your own way. Be honest with yourself about where you trip yourself up, what your self-sabotaging tendencies are. This is a time to really pay attention to what has a grip on you from your past that you are maybe not even aware of, right? Where is, and I said this in one of the other videos, I can't remember what sign it was for, but we all have biases, we've all got hang-ups, we've all got things, stuff that we're here to work through and to learn about and grow through. If you didn't, you would be a saint. And even then, you know, saints had their own shit to work through. So I'm going to go a step further and say, if you're human, you've got shit to work through. Bottom line, right? There's no such thing as a truly enlightened human being. I'm sorry, there just isn't. We're here for a reason, and a part of that reason is to do the work, right? So this month though, really watch your actions because they're being driven by echoes from the past. For your work and studies, you've got the Four of Cups, you've got the Son of Cups, also the Knight of Cups, and you've got the Ten of Swords, right? So it is a potential that a work or revenue stream is potentially shutting down. But this is being led by you. Maybe you're saying, you know what, I don't want to do this job anymore. Maybe you're saying, actually, you know what, this method of study doesn't work for me anymore. This could also be potentially bust-ups in the workplace because you are in, and this is not to say like, oh, Scorpio is emotional. Usually that's, now you know how Cancerians feel, okay? I've got a Cancer moon. Jokes aside, like this month, maybe someone says to you, oh, you know, why are you reacting like this? Why are you being so sensitive? Why are you being so overly emotional? And it's like, bitch, wet. Like, you know, like, come on now, you're going to have to come better than that. Jokes aside, you do need to look at this, especially with the triplet that came before, because there's something here where maybe you are dwelling on the past and it's really affecting your present and therefore your future in a way that you're almost blind to it. There's a blind spot here that is trying to be highlighted to you, and it's going to take some real honesty with yourself to uncover what that is. Now, finally, when it comes to work and studies, whether you're employed, self-employed, business owner, whether you're studying at university, school, etc., some self-reflection this month is absolutely going to highlight to you what you're ready to release, and you might be surprised at what that is. For your love and relations, you've got the Four of Pentacles that falls on top of the Four of Swords, right? 2 fours, insomnia. Something that you need to pay attention to because, you know, when we're not sleeping well, right, or properly, that can get in the way. The other thing with this Four of Pentacles, oh, look at that, falls with the Ace of Cups. So you and a significant other with the Hierophant card. So for you and a significant other, for those of you that are partnered, married, in long-term commitments, you might be doing some really unsexy stuff like sorting out your will, you know, looking at your life insurance, health insurance, all of that kind of stuff this month. But it's like you're doing it, and when you're doing it, there's a sense of solidarity here. Right, there's something where you're sorting a long-term future when it comes to the resources, both that are available now, but you're hoping to set into motion. I actually really like this, certainly for longer-term things, especially where you're tying yourself, your money, or your finances to things that are going to be for the long term or the long haul. For those of you that are single, Ace of Cups, there could absolutely be new love. If that is the case, it's very likely to be somebody that works in the finance sector, maybe somebody that works in government. It could also be somebody that you kind of feel is... No, I can't say that. I know you're all like, oh, what was it going to say? You might find that... like the level of intellect or the level of knowledge, etc., is something that challenges you in a good way. One thing about Scorpios, very intelligent people. Like, you might not say much, but you guys tend to be like storehouses of knowledge. And then it's only when people ask you a question, they're like, okay, right? And so this could be somebody that maybe not. Yeah, maybe somebody that not only meets your level of intelligence, but actually surpasses it. And maybe you're kind of like, ooh, okay, you know, and that's intriguing to a Scorpio. I often say this about Scorpios and Aquarians. If you want to really attract them, teach them something that they don't know. For your money and materials, you've got the Five of Cups. Okay, so the long-term benefits require short-term sacrifices. You've got the Five of Cups here with the Tower. That's a spontaneous loss of money with the Six of Swords, potentially on or over some kind of travel. So that's one way that this could show up. Now, I'm going to say this month it does look like there's a hidden or sudden expense that comes up out of the blue. I will say with the Six of Swords, it's probably some trip or journey that you've planned. It's not the vehicle itself. But it's like maybe you lose out on a deposit that you put down for a holiday. Maybe, there's a cancellation and you didn't do it in time. Or, do you see what I mean? And it comes out of the blue. I'm just going to say cut your losses, all right? Don't get yourself into your head about it. Just kind of find a way to let it go. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, this could actually be advancement when it comes to the health. But it almost comes kind of like maybe you have a realization of, well, holy crap, I'm going to have to cut out, I don't know, sugar for the next 6 months to see if that's what it is. It's like something's being removed from your health or your physical health and vitality, and it's being done to make things better in the long run. But it's like it happens so quick that you're like, whoa, I didn't see that coming. Okay, for your weeks of the month, for the first week of the month, you've got the Tower card. So a big realization of some kind and potentially a big upheaval. I mean, I'm glad to see this because it kind of suggests that the financial challenge or issue, it happens right at the beginning of the month. So you're not kind of like sat there for the whole month like, oh, what's it going to be? Like it just shows up and you're like, okay, I'll just deal with this as best I can right now. Then you've got the Star card, right? So I am going to tell you potentially an electrical device, right? So phone, iPad, computer, a touch wood, I hope I'm wrong. Some kind of technology could be the thing that ends up costing you money. For a lot of you, I do feel like it will be travel because the Star card is actually a card of long distance travel, particularly flights. So this is one way that could happen. Maybe you booked a flight and you end up losing it. Maybe you missed the flight. Again, touch wood, I hope I'm wrong. It's probably going to be either an electrical advice or some kind of travel that you were planning to do by plane. Now, for your second week though, the Tower card, the Star card literally follows the Tower. So look at this, right? You have that big moment at the beginning of the month and then it's like, okay, cool, now I can move forward, all right? This Star card brings hope and blessings, and you've got this here with the Death card. Okay, so this is your card, right? Your energy. And what this suggests to me is that for some of you, this may be a realization of what you are ready to let go of on a personal level that you hadn't even considered until this moment. So it's kind of like when it comes, there's a moment where you're kind of like, okay, it's time to do the Scorpio thing, right? Time to get my Phoenix on. So a new self is emerging for you this month for sure, without doubt. Then you've got the Emperor. Now, this is interesting for a couple of reasons. The Death card is number 13, 1 and 3 gives you 4. The Emperor is number 4, right? So technically you've got 2 4s here. Remember what I said to you earlier about insomnia? This second half of the month, sleep may be a little bit elusive. Get your magnesium in, okay? I'm not a doctor. I can't give you medical advice. What I will say is, obviously Pluto moving into the 4th, potentially here, the death of an important male in your life. Doesn't have to be, your husband. It could be a grandfather. It could be an uncle. It could be an old boss. It could be a current boss. An important male figure in your life could be leaving your world. Maybe they say, hey, listen, you know what? I'm moving abroad. And, you're kind of like, oh my gosh, like really shocked by it. It doesn't have to be death, but it is going to be final. Whatever removing of a man in your life this is bringing, it's likely to be for good. Now, the other thing with the Emperor and the Death card, These are Scorpio, death, and Aries, respectively, both of you ruled by Mars. Mars moving into that ninth house. So your not only your religious beliefs, but your maybe educational pursuits and your learning. Maybe you're chucking away a complete sort of system of some sort that you've really put a lot of time, effort, and energy into, and you're like, no, you know what? It's time to break away from this system now, and it could be really challenging, right? Okay, for your moons, so I'm not going to go into great detail with these because obviously I'll be giving you your new moon and full moon reports. So for Alright, so for your Virgo full moon on the 7th of March, so not only do we have Saturn moving into your 5th, but on the 7th of March you've got the Virgo full moon, which for you is in your 11th house. Now, you've got the gate 32 and endurance, and so the message behind this card is it's a money card, actually, interestingly enough, and the 11th house is a money house because it's the gains that you make from your business or from your career. And so this could be a month where money is good, but it comes and goes quickly. And the reason for this is because you see the hares or the bunnies there, they are a message about instinct, right? You know, they live this really nervous kind of flitty life and constantly on edge. This might highlight to you where you're living constantly on edge and how it's not doing you any favors. Okay, so something to consider for sure. For your Aries new moon, so your sibling sign, because you're both ruled by Mars in ancient astrology at least, you've got the gate 26 and greater good, and this is a 6th house new moon for you, right? So your daily routines and responsibilities, the maintenance work that you have to do is what's coming into focus here. But this might actually be, because it's the greater good card, this is a card of you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, right? And so what this means is on this new moon, start looking to build allies, start looking to create and forge partnerships when it comes to your work life, especially on that daily level, on the ground, in the grind kind of energy. Finally, if you have any pets, they may require your attention around that new moon or from then onwards. So, with that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Let me know in the comments, do you love it? Do you loathe it? This is going to be the new style for a while. As I said, there is a way more content to come, so stay tuned and let me know. With that said, take care and I'll see you soon.